Welcome back to a special edition of Cape Ann Today, folks. Today I am joined by Charles Nazarian of Gloucester Meetinghouse Foundation and Dick Prouty of TownGreen. How you doing, gentlemen?
Very well, thanks.
Thank you.
Great to speak with you again. All right, so this weekend we have an important event coming up at the Meeting House. Right off the top, Charles, can you just set the table for us on what people can expect?
Sure. The Gloucester Meetinghouse Foundation hosts a symposium every November, going back now 7 years, on a very important topic of interest to the Cape Ann and North Shore communities. We've done a number of them in the past on gun violence, on housing equity, and the Prouty project, and other ones that were of great concern and interest to the public and gave them a chance to voice their feelings in an open forum, which doesn't happen very often. So in this case, our symposium is looking at the anticipated effects of climate change on Gloucester's downtown planning. And as you know, there are many things being talked about for Gloucester's harbor front, as well as the downtown area in general. And the work that TownGreen has been doing with the Harvard Graduate School of Design is producing some very pertinent information. And through that lens, we're going to look at what is advisable and inadvisable for Gloucester's planning downtown.
Mm-hmm. And so, Dick, how did this partnership come about? And what can people expect at the symposium itself?
I'm on the board of the Meeting House, and for the last 5 years until this past January, TownGreen was a program of the Gloucester Meeting House Foundation. Mm-hmm. And then because we started getting in some big grants and research opportunities, we decided it was time to have TownGreen become its own separate 501c3 corporation, which we did. And we've got our letter from the IRS now, and we're a separate organization doing our own annual fund drive this year and so forth. But we continue to work together, obviously, and this seemed like a nice opportunity to take this middle of November symposium date that is usually about some topic, as Charles explained, and use it to feature some of the research and thinking of people that we're working with about downtown and how the climate will affect it. So that's how, our mission is to act as a catalyst for the stakeholders, including municipal officials, elected and non-elected, as well as the citizens of Cape Ann, to educate them about the threat of climate change coming at us and what we can all do to mitigate it.
And how will this research be presented on the 19th?
Well, we're going to have a big screen in the Meeting House in the sanctuary. And it's being put on by a guy who's real professional, does WBUR events and so forth, online events. But we encourage people to attend, because when you attend, you'll see the big screen, you'll see the speakers, you'll be able to ask questions. And the 3 speakers are going to be speaking between 15 and 20 minutes each, 10-minute Q&A. And then at the end, we're going to have a panel where they reflect on what they heard from each other and ask questions of each other, and then questions from the audience. The 3 speakers are Professor Charles Waldheim from the Harvard Graduate School of Education, who we've been working with now for 2 years and raising money and through private and public sources to pay for his research. And he's a specialist in climate change and how it affects cities, done very large study of Miami, for example, and the effect of sea level rise on Miami and how they can avoid the worst situations. And he's going to be giving his research about the downtown area. So this is a chance for us to take some global research in his final reports, well over 500 pages with lots of graphics, but we want to focus on particular areas and then have people be able to see how it works out. Second speaker is Professor Antonio Raciti, UMass Boston. He's actually just started a one-year study using the courses he teaches at UMass Boston to interview and work with the residents of Ward 2 downtown and ask them their opinions on a number of topics, including climate. And he's going to talk about how we might look at a framework for future downtown development that takes into account the residents of the downtown, of all income levels, but particularly what are called the low income residents. The third speaker is a consultant, founder and CEO of a small consulting company called Ninigret Partners. And he consults to cities like Gloucester all over the country about various topics. And he's going to speak on the future of the economy, particularly the blue economy aspect of downtown, and how that might be a good driver of the future of jobs and the economy downtown. And then these people will learn from each other. They haven't really had a chance to interact, and should be very interesting.
Sounds so. So, and Charles, the time for the event, time, place, parking situation, things like that.
Sure. The event will start at 1 o'clock, and we think that it will probably run to close to 4, but that depends upon how long the Q&A goes on. And we know that a lot of residents are anxious to have their voices heard concerning the various proposals out there for downtown. But probably 1 to 4 is a good thing. There is parking available on the green, and we'll probably fill that up. Then there is a small parking lot off of Pine Street and lots of other places downtown adjacent to the meeting house that would be convenient. I would encourage people to come early and stay, especially because Mayor Verga is going to open this event for us. And that's very important because the city has quite a few things going on directly on this subject. And we had hoped that the mayor would join us, and he agreed, and is going to kind of set the stage, telling us what the city has been doing. For example, there's a harbor committee that has an interactive map that people may not know about, where you can go and actually enter your thoughts about what should or shouldn't be done on a given site on the harbor. And there is a comprehensive city plan, which will be the first time this has been done in almost 20 years, that is in the works. And I think this is also something that people should have a chance to hear about from the mayor himself. During the event, there will be a break every 45 to 50 minutes, about 10 minutes, so people can get up, interact with each other. There'll be refreshments available. And as it is often the case with events like this, the networking and getting to know other people of similar interests is sometimes if not the most important, one of the most important results.
Mm-hmm. And so if people want to learn more about the Meeting House and its mission, how can they go about doing that?
They can go to our website, which is gloucestermeetinghouse.org, and you will find there the history of the Meeting House and a lot of information about our past and present programs. One thing that may be of particular interest to people who are coming to this symposium is that from the very beginning, the goal of restoring the Meeting House has been to make it an example of how informed historic preservation can be joined with green building practices. We don't just want to talk the talk, we want to walk the walk and make this building, which was built in 1806, as green as it possibly can be. And in fact, the building is now a net zero building. It's carbon neutral. from a combination of high insulation values, low energy use, and also carbon sequestration with Reforest the Tropics, which is planted trees for us that absorb whatever excess carbon we make. And so we'd like people to come away with the sense that it's not only possible, but quite doable with old houses and old buildings, as we have in Gloucester, to make them green while at the same time preserving them for posterity. And that you'll find more about that story on gloucestermeetinghouse.org.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. And Dick, if folks want to learn more about TownGreen.
Yes, our current website is towngreen2025.org, and we've got information on this symposium as well as a lot of our other programs there and donations and so forth.
There you have it. Okay, thanks for your time, gentlemen. We'll get this out ASAP for you. So again, the symposium is the 19th at 1 p.m. at Gloucester Meetinghouse.
Yes,
Correct.
this Saturday. Thanks so much, Kory.
Perfect. Thank you. Charles
Thanks,
Nazarian,
Kory.
Gloucester Meetinghouse, and Dick Prouty of TownGreen. Thanks both for your time, and we will see you this weekend.
Terrific. See you there.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.